Hey guys, it's Lexi. I have a what I was warming and empties video to share with you today. This is for the month of November, and I am officially calling it. I know we're not quite at the end of November. However, it is snowing outside. It is like the first big snowfall we've had, and it's sticking and it's beautiful outside right now. So that really makes me want to just put up my Christmas decorations and put away my fall wax. So that's what I'm gonna do because I am just like, I'm ready. I'm over the pumpkin right now. I think I'm just ready. So I have 7 things that I melted but did not finish, 2 of which are loaves. So let me go over these because these scents here are going to be double bagged and stored away in my fall drawer for next fall season. Hopefully I can try to pull them out sooner than that, but most likely that's what's gonna happen. This one here, I just absolutely love, honestly. This is Haunted Bake Shop from Salt Mountain Melts. This was a loaf that I chopped up. I love the colors. I think that is just so cute. The notes are pumpkin sugar donut and Bake Shop. And Bake Shop is a scent that is that was actually just poured as a single scent, not combined with a pumpkin sugar donut in her last ready or pre-order sale. So I really hope you guys were able to get your hands on that if you wanted it. It is such a great bakery scent. Honestly, I really love Bake Shop on its own from her. It is just like the most delicious, classic bakery scent. It's got like, oh my gosh, I feel like there's like vanilla wafers, maybe waffle cone, and maybe there's a donut oil in there or like a powdered sugar note. It's like very, very sweet bakery goodness. I don't feel like anybody could be opposed to that scent. It's just very beautiful. And also I feel like would be a great blender for anything. It was blended with pumpkin sugar donut. Initially, when I smelled this for like the first cold sniff impressions on the video where this was hauled back in July of 22, I thought that this was a little bit too cinnamon heavy, but then first I cured it and then I melted this, and it's not at all overwhelmingly cinnamon like I thought it would be. It just became like this delicious like pumpkin donut shop kind of a vibe. It's so beautiful. Honestly, I could talk about this all day. This is definitely a scent that if I see it come back next year, I will grab another loaf of it, honestly, because it is that good. Also, I feel like this, and there's another scent, I think maybe it's in here, but this past like fall and Halloween season, I really discovered that I enjoy that pumpkin sugar donut oil that's out there. I just really like it. So I don't know. I might have to actively seek more of that oil next fall season because it's so good. It smells like a very realistic pumpkin donut to me. So this one here is another Salt Mountain Melts loaf, which once again, another phenomenal blend. This is Hungry Ghost. It's pumpkin pecan waffles, sugar cookie, and toasted marshmallow. And this is a scent that I feel like now I've seen a lot of other vendors doing like pumpkin pecan waffles with a bakery note. This is something to me that I feel like it is one of the best that I've smelled of that kind of take on a pumpkin pecan waffle scent. This is so sweet and delicious. And I feel like the sugar cookie and the toasted marshmallow in here help elevate the bakery notes in the waffle. And instead of like, sometimes, like I've mentioned this before, sometimes the pumpkin pecan waffle candle from Bath & Body Works is too bready and not like cakey enough, and this Hungry Ghost makes it cakier, so it's really, really good. That one, once again, is definitely a repurchase in a large size. I have one scent here from Empire Alchemy, and I have a lot that I finished or emptied the bags of, but this one I didn't, and the reason behind that is because it was very, very strong, and I'm not really worried about this losing fragrance. I have it double bagged, and it's funny because most of my Empire Alchemy bags have, I don't know if the fragrance oils or the wax, I don't know if there's something different about her oils or something different about her wax, maybe consistency, but it does tend to kind of leak out of the bag a little bit. So all of her stuff I definitely double bag for that reason. But this one I feel like even is kind of coming out of the double bag. It's almost like I don't know. It's a very, there's must be a lot of fragrance oils in this or something. And also this one was just incredibly strong, you guys. I don't even know if I told you the name. This is Autumn Cat. It's Southern California Winter, crushed sage, hint of smoked lavender, and charred oak barrel cider. So there's a couple things going on in here. To my nose, this is a scent that kind of reminds me of another scent that I actually melted this month, which is dried lavender and oak from Yankee Candle. So if you've smelled that and you're familiar with that scent, then this is kind of in the same ballpark. It's a very herbal leaning kind of, to me, this kind of smells like if you had a lavender scented incense. So you had like some lavender incense or maybe some dried hanging lavender, and you also were like saging something, like you had some sage smoke going. I don't get a lot of the oak barrel cider. If anything, I think maybe more of the oak than like a sweet cider. This is a very earthy, kind of smoky, lavendery type of scent. And for somebody that I'm not even that big of a fan of lavender, especially sweet lavender, I prefer herbal leaning lavender if I'm gonna do it. And I actually really enjoyed this one. We had a friend over the night that this was warming, and he even commented that he really enjoyed this. So that's great. This is one that, like I said, I'm gonna tuck away for next whenever. Honestly, I don't feel like this is a scent that to me really screams fall. Like you could probably melt this any time of year. It really reminds me of like what I would imagine an earthy store, like a hippie zen, kind of like Rainbow Zen, like one of those stores. Kind of would, and you could envision it would smell like that in there. But yeah, I could melt that any time of year, and for being a lavender scent, I really enjoyed that, and it was a good performer. So yeah, that was Autumn Cat from Empire Alchemy. This one here is Coven, and this is from Super Tarts. I picked this up during Wax Wednesday 2022, and the notes of Coven are cola, cake batter, vanilla bean, and zucchini bread. And you guys probably know if you've watched me for any amount of time, I'm not a zucchini bread fan in Wax. However, I have heard so many good things about this scent that I was like, I just gotta try it and just kind of see what the hype's about. I actually really enjoyed this. So I put this in my bedroom warmers, and I put two cubes of this in my bedroom. I have 2 warmers in there, and it was very, very strong. And I remember forgetting, because you guys know, if you know, I forgot what I put in my bedroom the day that I had this going, and I walked in, and it was a scent that made me go, oh, that's really good. What is it? And it was this. So I really enjoyed it. I feel like this was strong enough where I could definitely double bag it, and it'll be good for whenever I want to use it next. This is another one, kind of like the last one. I don't really feel like particularly the scent notes really scream fall. It just kind of screams any time of year. So I might pull this out sooner the next fall and melt it again. But that was a really lovely scent, and especially for a zucchini bread and me being like a picky girl when it comes to that, I really liked it, and I would repurchase that. So that was Coven. Okay, I have 3 scents now to talk about from Rose Girls. Let me talk about this one first. So I had a bit of a disappointing one for me, actually, surprisingly enough. This is pumpkin, warm vanilla sugar, and carbs. And I initially, when I smelled this, it's funny because it's like opposite, I guess, of some of my other scents. Sometimes I smell a scent and then I don't like it on cold, but I love it on warm. This is one that I smelled on cold, and I thought I would love it, or I really liked it on cold, and when I warmed it, I was like, oh, not for me. Yeah, because it smells great in the bag. It doesn't smell the same way. It totally changed to me once it was heated up. On cold, I smell a lot of like the warm vanilla sugar, like almost like a body care leaning vanilla, and then a little bit of the pumpkin in the back. And it doesn't smell like a cinnamon pumpkin in the bag, but boy, oh boy, when I melted this was very spicy. It was like a spicy it was odd to me. No, I love Rose Girls. This is just this one particular blend that wasn't aligning with me. But because I actually saw somebody in the group say that they really love this. So that just goes to show you every nose is different. But to me, it was, the pumpkin was almost like a realistic, like pumpkin guts with cinnamon and like a body care vanilla. And it just didn't meld well for me. Like personal preference. I feel like I wish it was a different pumpkin oil. Like if it was like a pumpkin donut, maybe with a warm vanilla sugar carbs, maybe I would have liked it more, but I just felt like it was the wrong pumpkin for this. But like I just said, other people I know posted in the group that they love this scent. So I was like, maybe my nose is weird. So that was pumpkin warm vanilla sugar carbs. Wasn't for me. That I'm actually going to pass the rest of this bag on to my sister or my mom and see if they like it, because they might love it, honestly. So you never know. And then this is another one from Rose Girls. This is Pumpkin Pickin'. It's pumpkin puree, nutmeg, pie crust, cinnamon, honey butter, and buttercream. And I don't know if it's the same pumpkin. This just says pumpkin in this one, and this is pumpkin puree. I wonder if that other one was a pumpkin puree. But in here, actually, I feel like it worked. Overall, I would say that this is one that I'm going to double bag and store for a little bit longer. I haven't like I let this cure, but like maybe it needs to sit just a little bit longer because I felt like it was a little light for me, which is surprising. So this one I'm definitely going to sit and let cure a little bit more. But this one was, to me, it was more, I guess it was more of just like the nutmeg and like sweet kind of cinnamon scent with like a little hint of pumpkin, but overall not super strong. So once again, I'm gonna let that one sit a little bit longer. And then on the far opposite side of strength, this was very strong. I actually had these going, obviously different days, but in the same room in the same amount. And this one is Deer Camp from Rose Girls. It's fresh fallen leaves, burning logs, and a touch of dirt. And my, oh my, was this strong. Like this was honestly like, I put this in my office warmer, and I always keep that door open, but like not, I don't expect scent to really travel too far out of that room. This one I had to like not shut the door, but like leave it like just barely cracked. Because it was so strong. It was coming out into the kitchen, it was going into the other bedroom, it was going into the bathroom, and it kind of overpowered everything. As far as the scent itself, this was very much like a puts you in the scene of hunting type of a scent. Like it's a very realistic, burning logs 100%. Like it smelled like true to life burning logs, like wood, smoke, fire. I did smell like a leafy, kind of crunchy, leafy, earthy note, and I did get the dirt. So this, if you want a scent that truly smells like the outdoors are in your home, this is a scent. Honestly, I'm very impressed by how realistic it smelled, and the strength was like out of this world. So very strong. So that one was Deer Camp. And now just to quickly talk about 4 scents, which are almost done. I've got 4 cubes in each of these, and like 4 like little cut chunks in these 2 bags. So these will be finished tonight. Actually, I'm gonna switch my warmers out pretty soon, and I am going to actually hopefully get my tree up tonight. That's the plan. And I actually saved, I'm going to talk about this one first, but I saved this one. I melted this earlier in the month, and when I was melting this, all I could think is it smells like Christmas. This literally smells like Christmas to me. So I said, okay, I'm going to write my thoughts on the back of this, and then I'm going to put it in next month's melting basket for Christmas. But then I got thinking, and I was like, I'll just put this up at the end of the month when I put up my Christmas tree, and maybe like put on a Christmas movie or like put on the Yule log. That's what I usually do when I put up my tree, and I'll have this scent going in my living room. So this scent is I Heart Vanilla Spiced Apples from Teddy Bees. And the notes of this are I Heart Vanilla blended with juicy apples, cinnamon, clove, and vanilla bean. And I think I Heart Vanilla is That is her, is it Boardwalk Marshmallow, or it's one of those Bath and Body Works like body care vanilla types, right? I think it's Boardwalk Marshmallow. I could be wrong. If you guys know for sure, please let me know in comment. But like I said, talk about smelling like Christmas. I wrote on the back, this reminds me a lot of 'Tis the Season from Bath and Body Works, but it has much more clove spice in it rather than like the juicy apple. I feel like there's more juiciness to the apple in 'Tis the Season, but this one is very clove heavy. I said it's a very Christmassy scent to me. It kind of rubbed off. But yeah, just like I mentioned, this scent, it is very pretty. I enjoy it, but as far as like a scent, like wanting to melt a scent, because I'm very much a seasonal melter, this is something where I feel like if you put a Christmas name on it, like putting the tree up or some kind of a Christmas theme name, I would not have blinked twice. This smells like Christmas to me. I don't think I could melt this any other time of year, only like the month of December most likely, but it is very, very pretty, and it was a good, strong performer in my open concept, which sometimes I do struggle a little bit with Teddy Bees in my open concept, but this one I did not struggle with. So it had a good strength, it was very pretty, and I think will be great for this time of year. I'm sharing this now, and you're not gonna see this again just because once I finish it tonight in my living room, the bag will be gone. But possibly this would be a repurchase for me, but I will probably only purchase like a small, like a souffle again and melt it for like around Christmas. So that is I Heart Vanilla Spiced Apples. I also have one that I actually have, it's at the tail end of its life right now. I put it in this morning. This is Fireside Pumpkin from Zape. And this one I'm actually gonna melt, I think, in my kitchen dining room tonight. It's such a good scent. It's roasted pumpkins, fall spice, and fire toasted marshmallows. And I believe that the roasted pumpkin note in here, there is a fragrance oil called like toasted pumpkin seed or like something like that. I know that there is a scent from Rose Girls, and I think it might be in an empty bag. I think I melted it this month, that I believe has this, the same fragrance oil. And I want to say, I believe Kay's has that fragrance, Kay's Scented Wax Melts. I believe that they have this single fragrance oil, and I might have to pick it up. I'm trying to be good, but because I really have been enjoying this note in here and the other one, I think I might have to go pick it up and see if that is what it is. All of that aside, this is a fantastic scent. Absolutely love this. It is just like warm. It's a very like warm, comforting, slightly roasted and not like smoky, but like roasted. Like it smells like you were roasting pumpkin seeds on like a baking tray with like cinnamon sugar on like in the oven. And it's a very like, there are some scents out there that I like to, in my head I call them like housewarming scents, but they're scents that almost like envelop your home in this like comforting kind of scent. And this is one of those that does that for me. Like it's a very like warming, comforting kind of a scent. Absolutely hoping and praying that this comes back next year, because I don't think it came back this year, and this is a bag from last year. And I've went through 2 bags of this now between last year and this year. Once again, you won't see this in another video, but putting this on my list to absolutely grab if it comes back next year. And I'm gonna make sure I like mention this in like the Zape group that I hope it comes back, because man, what a phenomenal scent. This is so beautiful. So really enjoyed this. That is Fireside Pumpkin. And then I have 2 more, which will be in either like bedroom, bathroom, or office scents. So I have Cold Autumn Leaves from Goose Creek, and I love the picture label on this. Like it is just a bunch of pretty leaves with some like raindrops on it. And this is a scent that I feel like, I don't know the scent notes exactly, not sure what they are, but this is a scent that reminds me a lot of like the leaves, not Bath and Body Works type, but like the leaves fragrance oil that you see in a lot of like vendor wax melts. For example, like the one that was in the Deer Camp scent from Rose Girls, where it's a true to life like leaf scent and not like an apple like Bath and Body Works leaves type scent. if you know what I'm saying. So this was a very, like, puts you in the type of mindset of like being outside. I really, really enjoyed this. There was definitely some other kind of note. It's not just like a pure leaves. I feel there's got to be some other kind of there's some kind of a spice. Maybe there's like a very, very, very subtle orange or like a citrus to kind of add a sweetness, but it's mostly like that earthy, crunchy leaves scent. Very, very pretty. I really enjoyed this when I've melted it, and I have 2 cubes that I melted in my bathroom one day, and I was like, that's so pretty. So this one I enjoyed quite a lot. That is Cold Autumn Leaves from Goose Creek. I said Rose Girls, oh my gosh. And then I have Scentsy, and this is a couple cubes left. It's Painted Leaves, so another leaf scent. This is so pretty, you guys. I'm having a really hard time debating if it's currently in my Scentsy club, and I'm having a hard time debating if I want to keep it in my club just to get a couple more bars, or if I want to take it out because I have 2 backup bars, I think, so far. It is very strong. First off, let me say that it is very, very strong. So I feel like 1 cube in my bathroom, which is what I've done. I did 4 cubes, but every time I melted, I only did 1 cube in my bathroom because this is such a strong scent. Like, talk about powerhouse. This right now is still like it's going on. Well, did I put it in last night? I think I put it in last night before bed, and it's been going and going and going. It just doesn't quit. So for strength and performance and everything, I feel like I don't need a lot of extra bars because 1 cube does the job. I don't know. And I really got to get my Scentsy club under control. So do I need another one in here? I don't know, you guys. Somebody please help me. I'm struggling. I'm struggling with what to do with this. Maybe I'll get one more and then ixnay it. But Painted Leaves is like a outdoorsy, fresh eucalyptus. There's definitely eucalyptus. I don't know what else is in here besides like leaves, like a leaf scent and eucalyptus, and maybe a tree note in here. Very much like an outdoorsy, fresh type of scent. I really do enjoy this one. I just don't know what to do with it. So that one I will also be melting tonight for the finale, probably bathroom, and then maybe office, and then maybe bedrooms. I'm not really sure, but I just don't want to hold on to these anymore. These are going to be emptied, and then that'll be it. So I don't know, you guys. I really, really like that. I just don't know what to do with that. All right, so now I'm going to get into my empties, and I want to go over some like non-vendor wax, so some like retail stuff first. Let's talk about the Goose Creek, because I have 4 empty clamshells from Goose Creek, and some of them were good and some of them were not. So let's actually start with the not first. This one is Toasty Pumpkin Toddy, and on cold, not that bad. Definitely there's a boozy note in here, but it's not anything that's like I didn't think I would dislike when warming. But man, oh man, I put this in my bedroom, and I went in there and I was like, it smells kind of weird, but not bad. Like, I went in and I was like, it's not so bad that I feel like I need to pull it, but it was not a scent that I wanted to stand and enjoy the scent in there. You know what I mean? It was just like, I walked in and I was like, that's different, but like, I didn't hate it. But then Tom went in there and he goes, oh my gosh, it literally smells like a bottle and can return place. And I went, oh my gosh, it does. So if you guys have ever been to a like bottle and can return center, then you know it smells like sticky, old, stinky beer and like sticky soda, kind of like old soda. It's not a pleasant scent. And he was right on the money, and it didn't really register until he said specifically, like, you know, sometimes it happens when somebody goes, this smells like that, and then that's all you can smell. That's what happened. So I was like, no, it's not that bad. And then I went in there, and every time I did to, go put laundry away or whatever, it's all I could smell. And I actually ended up pulling it and dumping it because I was like, thanks, Tom. Now that is all I can smell. So yeah, that was Toasty Pumpkin Toddy. Would not be a repurchase for me. Definitely Tom did not like it either. So sometimes that happens. This one here is Autumn Sunset. This is one that I actually melted in my dining room, and I'm not entirely sure, once again, the notes for all of these Goose Creek scents. They don't have them listed. I don't believe. Let's see, do they? No. Yeah, so no scent notes on this. However, to my nose, this reminded me of the Bath and Body Works scent Flannel mixed with a birch note. So it kind of smelled like birch trees and flannel, like maybe like vanilla birch and flannel from Bath and Body Works both got together, had a little baby. It would be this scent, which I really enjoyed. And talk about strength. This scent was just so strong. Oh my gosh. The next one from Goose Creek is Caramel Apple Lane, sorry. And this one is 100% a dupe for Cider Lane from Bath and Body Works. I said a Cider Lane dupe, very strong, and I enjoyed it and it was long lasting. Once again, this is one that I put in my Yankee Candle centerpiece warmer in my office or my bedroom. Really enjoyed it in there. Absolutely no complaints. And honestly, this scent was the one that helped mask the old scent of the toasted pumpkin toddy. So once I took that out, I needed something strong, and I knew that Cider Lane typically is like a very strong scent. So I popped this one in and it did the trick. I couldn't smell any of that old beer scent after I put that one in, and it was lovely. No complaints there. I have two Walmart wax melts to talk about. The first one is a Mainstays brand. It is in the scent Mulled Cider, and the notes of this are apple, clove, and orange zest. It smelled pretty much exactly like what it said, except for once it was warming, it was much more fruity than clove. So I enjoyed it. It was a good performer. No complaints there. And then the other one is Chilly Autumn Evening. This is a Better Homes and Gardens limited edition scent. I'm kind of sad about this. So this is one that really kind of reminded me of my mother's parents, so my grandparents on my mom's side. Reminded me of their home, like the way it would smell when I would go there and visit when I was a little girl. Sadly, this was on the lighter end, and I think it's probably, if I had to guess, it's probably the age that did it, because I've been holding on to this bar because I like the scent memory that was attached to it. But I finally figured, like, I just need to warm it before there is no scent left. It was a very soft, kind of outdoorsy, sweet, smoky, kind of like a sweet, smoky scent, but not like smoky, like, this is going to sound silly, but almost kind of smelled to me like tobacco, like a sweet tobacco kind of a scent, and like a little smokiness with it, and maybe like a fresh outdoor air type of scent. So it was like clean and sweet and kind of like smoky and tobacco-y. It was very, very pretty, but it definitely has gotten lighter over me holding on to it. So this was just like one of those reminders of like, just gotta keep melting your old stuff, Lex. So yeah, that was Chilly Autumn Evening. If I saw this come back, I would absolutely pick up more of this because I really did enjoy this one. 5 from Yankee Candle. I have 2 of the Wax Melt single cups in dried lavender and oak. I actually melted both of these in my bathroom warmers for 2 days, and they were good. No complaints. I feel like overall the form, I don't think these are even available anymore. I think they were only for like a limited time that they tested out this kind of a thing. I don't know. I haven't been to Yankee Candle in forever, so maybe these are still available. But this scent, honestly, I would definitely pick up again in like the what is it called? The centerpiece cups. These perform much better for me in the centerpiece warmer, so I would do them there. But this scent is a very, very pretty scent. And like I mentioned earlier with that autumn cap scent from Empire Alchemy, it is a very earthy, dried lavender with a tree kind of background note. I really, really enjoy the scent. It's honestly like one of the only lavender scents that I found that doesn't give me a headache, and I personally enjoy. So that one is really lovely. I have 2 Yankee Candle wax melt like centerpiece warmer cups that I emptied, and these I feel like I probably messed up. I cut these up into 4 chunks, 4 pieces, and I melted these in my open concept, and I really didn't get much of a performance from either of these. So I think that I didn't really do what they were intended to do. I didn't do them in the centerpiece warmers, but I just wanted to finish these up because I wanted to just be done with them. But they're both great scents, no complaints about the scents, but they didn't perform as well as I feel like they would have in a smaller space and in the centerpiece warmer like they were intended to be performed in, or whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. Can't talk today. Anyway, Cider House is a very, very fruity, delicious apple scent with like definitely some like clove spices and some sweet cinnamon sugar spices. It's a really pretty scent, no complaints. I just should have warmed it the right way. And then this one is Honeycrisp Apple Cider. This is one where it smells, it's definitely much more apple forward. Well, these are similar, different apples, but a similar kind of scent. So this to me smells definitely like a Honeycrisp apple, like a sweeter apple. And then this one to me smells more like a Macintosh apple. Yeah, so different apples, similar vibe, but both good. Probably wouldn't necessarily repurchase any of those scents, but they were good fall, general fall type scents. And then this one kind of gave me a scent memory. So this is Autumn Wreath from Yankee Candle. And this, I said, reminded me of my grandma on my dad's side this time. My grandma used to have these Christmas wreaths that her daughter, my aunt, would make for her. And they were just like, I feel like it was like a styrofoam kind of wreath, and she just stuck a bunch of hard candies or like glued a bunch of hard candy wrappers onto it. And so when I was a little girl, I would go and I remember just like, it was always on like the sliding glass door that she would have them hung. And it smelled like a mishmash scent of all of the different hard candy. So it kind of smelled like butterscotch. It kind of smelled like peppermint. It kind of smelled like cinnamon. It kind of smelled like the strawberries. You could kind of smell all of the different sweet flavored hard candies on like this wreath. And I think she maybe also put some other, did she put like greenery on? I'm not entirely sure, but this kind of smelled like that to me. And I don't think there's not a hard candy note in here, but it kind of smelled like that to me. So I enjoyed it for that reason. And this was the scent that was gifted me in my stocking for Christmas last year from my mom. So thank you, Mama, if you're watching. It was a very pretty scent, and I enjoyed the scent memory that it brought. Quickly, to go over my Scentsy ones here, I have Pumpkin Cashmere. This was a sample that I got in a whiff box. I said, not a fave. It was too pumpkin guts-like, mixed with the cashmere note. It kind of turned my stomach a little bit. So this wasn't personally for me, but I know a lot of other people enjoyed this one. That is Pumpkin Cashmere. I have two that I'm not really going to talk about, but just share that I did empty a couple more things. I have Ghostly Greetings and Halloween Town. These are two scents that I've talked about like over and over on my channel. Fantastic, like Halloween type scents. I loved both of these, no complaints. It's like a plum scent, and then this one's like an oak, an apple scent, I believe. Both phenomenal, great performers. Won't leave my Scentsy Club ever. And then I have another one that hasn't left my Scentsy Club since I started it. This is Apple S'mores. Does not smell like s'mores. It just smells like a sweet tree and apple type scent. There might be like a subtle kind of marshmallow note, but it's not like, it doesn't smell like a s'more. So that one's a fantastic scent. Also won't leave my club. And then this one is Wild for Fall. This one is oranges and trees. And this is a very, very, very juicy orange. Like, honestly, I feel like almost makes my mouth salivate how juicy orange forward it is, with like a tree in the background, which I feel like typically you see tree first with a background of orange. So this is one out of all of the orange and tree based Scentsy scents that I've smelled. Would possibly be a repurchase, but I took this one out of my club and I don't think it's available. So that is Wild for Fall, but it's a very, very pretty orange and tree scent. Two here from K Scented Melts. I have Vanilla Pumpkin Marshmallow. This is a Bath & Body Works dupe. I said it's a good dupe for Bath & Body Works. I like it. It just wasn't a long lasting performer. This one is Mulled Wine, also from K's. It is Blackberry Bordeaux, Orange Cranberry, Nutmeg, and Spice. I said it was nice and juicy, fruity and drinkable, would repurchase, strong, long-lasting, and not overly spicy. I have another one here from K's, and this is Cupcakes at Tiffany's. And I actually blended this one with a sample of Palo Santo from Britta's Creepy Treasures. And I said, this was mostly the Palo Santo that took over, but at the end of the Palo, once it kind of melted down more, I could smell that there was a Cupcakes at Tiffany's. It was a nice blend, but this one was definitely the overpowering scent in here. And it was a very good Palo Santo. I really enjoyed that Palo Santo from Britta's. Definitely would pick up. I mean, I have some of her Palo Santo blends, but I would get it on its own again. That was really yummy. Some more from Britta's. I have Don't Kill Me, Mr. Ghostface, and this is Autumn Day, 'Tis the Season, and Mulberry. And I believe Autumn Day and 'Tis the Season are both Bath & Body Works, like fragrant, like candle dupes. So I said this was very strong on that 'Tis the Season note, which is like a juicy apple. And I said I really enjoyed this as a transition fall to winter scent. I would absolutely repurchase, and I enjoyed it much better melting than I did on cold. So if you're looking for a scent that really captures, whatever. If you're looking for a scent that really captures that like transition type of time of year, then that one was fantastic. That was Please Don't Kill Me, Mr. Ghostface. This one is Autumn Coffee. This is a repurchase scent for me. It's coffee and Cupcakes at Tiffany's, cinnamon baklava, and caramelized pralines. This is a delicious scent. Also very, very strong. All of my Britta's Creepy Treasure scents are very, very strong performers, and I enjoyed them. This is a delicious, like warm, nutty, cupcake, bakery type scent. Just delicious. And the coffee, of course, but it's just very well balanced and really, really pretty. This one is Cinderella's Pumpkin Carriage. This is from Dessa's Homespun Scents. It is a house blend of pumpkin, caramel, bear claws, waffle cone, and Bavarian cream. And I said, this is so nice, would absolutely repurchase. Very, very creamy vanilla with a sweet bakery pumpkin. It was an 8 out of 10 throw. This one, I would absolutely, like I said, repurchase this. I think it was that Bavarian cream note that was just so delicious. I've never smelled anything like that in Vendor Wax form before, and I really liked that. It was delicious. This one is Creep Show from That Smell Good shop. It is apple balsam and patchouli. I said I enjoyed this, but not quite as much as I thought I would on cold. I almost wish it had a different apple note. It was still very nice and strong though. So maybe if it was, like I said, a different apple, I just felt like it was too sweet of an apple paired with those kind of outdoorsy scents. Maybe if it was like a green apple or like, I don't know, something different, but still very good. Another one from That Smell Good shop. This is Deadpool. It's Fall Bonfires and Charred Cedarwood. This is one that was like a very, very light performer, which is very rare when it comes to That Smell Good shop for me. I would say that one was like, I could barely smell it when I walked in the room. Don't know why that happened. It was a bathroom melt for me. And typically like bonfire, on cold, I thought it was going to be very strong, but it wasn't for me. So I don't know, that happens, I suppose. Okay, a quick change of scenery. Sorry, you guys. It just gets so dark so early here. So, okay, I'm back now, and I have a few more bags to talk about. Let me just quickly talk about some of these larger things that I have. The first one being this clamshell from Zape. This is in Which Please. It is coconut cream, caramelized pralines, and espresso. This was a delicious coffee blend. If this comes around next year, I will definitely pick up some more. I really enjoyed it. The coconut cream in here does not come across like tropical coconut, or like even like sometimes I feel like coconut can lean a little like floral or body care. This came across very much as like a bakery creamy coconut. Delicious, so good. And then paired with that caramelized pralines, would not expect that to work, but it absolutely was. It was like nutty and sweet, and just like delicious. And then combined with like that espresso, which is like a very strong coffee. Personally, espresso is my favorite in scent form, because I feel like it's got a bit of like that roasty kind of like kick to it that I really enjoy. This was just so, so good. It was like warm and nutty and toasty and just so good. I mean, I absolutely love this. Definitely a very strong performer. I put this throughout my entire house one day, and I could not have enjoyed it anymore. This was phenomenal. So that is Which Please from Zape. And then I have Rose Girl. So let me talk about this big one next. This is Rose Girl's Pumpkin Cheesecake, Cider Lane, and Pie Crust. This was in a scoopable form. She does not typically do these. I haven't seen her do this in a few years now. This is pretty old. And I had a weird experience with this. So I put this in my open concept like living room between four warmers twice. Both times had very minimal throw, like really weird, like almost couldn't smell it. Then I was like, whatever, I only have a little bit left. I'll just put the rest in my bedroom, which was my Yankee Candle centerpiece warmer and then like a lower wattage Scentsy warmer. And it did phenomenally in there. I'm not sure if it was just the size of the room, possibly. That's probably a big chance. Or maybe the lower wattage warmers helped because it was a scoopable. I'm not entirely sure, but I probably, if I saw the scent in her normal, like, what do you call them? Like hard wax, I guess, then I would definitely pick it up again. The scent itself was so beautiful. And when I could smell it performing in my bedroom, loved it. It was a very delicious cider lane, like cider lane, but then you add like a pumpkin pie to it. Really, really liked it. No bad things to say about it when I could smell it, but it was just like a weird performer. Could be the age, could be it was too big of a space. Not sure, but that was Rose Girl's Pumpkin Cheesecake, Cider Lane, and Pie Crust. And to kind of stay on the pumpkin pie train here from Rose Girls, I went through and I dug out my sweet pumpkin pie mini melter bag, and I also pulled out this marshmallow fluff from Destination Wax, which is sweet creamy marshmallow fluff, and I decided that these would be great melted together. And honestly, I've been getting worried that this is probably sitting for too long and not being used. This was probably 3 years old, honestly. I mean, this was an old Rose Girls bag. However, this scent was just so beautiful. Even though I did melt this in smaller spaces, I could smell it and it was beautiful. I mean, it was definitely significantly lighter, which is my own doing, but what I could smell of this, I absolutely loved. So I'm not entirely sure if this is like a single fragrance oil, if this is still around. I think it is because I believe that this pumpkin pie, sweet pumpkin pie, is the same thing that's in her A Very Mario Thanksgiving. This was just such a good pumpkin pie. It wasn't overly spicy. It wasn't overly bready or like crust heavy. You could smell the crust though, and it wasn't like pumpkin gutsy. So this just smelled like a very authentic pumpkin pie scent, and I really liked it. And I also really enjoyed it paired with that marshmallow. It just made it sweeter. So definitely would repurchase this again if I saw it come back around. And then let's just talk about this A Very Mario Thanksgiving. I believe that this was a customer creation from her last year's Mario launch. This is sweet potato, royal sugar cookie, pie crust, caramelized pralines, sweet pumpkin pie, and a sprinkle of marshmallow. This also, I held on to it probably for a little bit too long. It has gotten lighter, I've noticed, because when I melted it prior, it was a stronger performer, I believe. But this time around, it was like a light to medium performance. I could smell it, and it was a very warm, comforting scent. This is one that I probably should have put in a tea light. I bet that would have gave it a little bit extra life. But for what it was a very enjoyable like pumpkin bakery scent. I feel like you can't really go wrong with a pumpkin bakery scent, right? They always just kind of make your heart happy. So I enjoyed this. If I did pick it up again, then I would just try to melt it a little bit sooner. This one is so good. This is the scent Toasted Pumpkin Seeds and Candy Corn. The scent that I was talking about from Zape, Pumpkin Fireside, I mentioned had like this toasted pumpkin seed kind of oil in it, where it's like a roasty, rich, toasty kind of like pumpkin scent. I believe that that is this toasted pumpkin seed. I think that's the same oil in this and that one. Amazing. Like it really gives you like this like housewarming, like comforting, roasty, something's cooking and baking in the oven type of scent. And then you paired it with this like extra sweet, like rich candy corn, kind of like buttery candy. I don't know. You know what candy corn smells? It's like that honey kind of buttery kind of scent. It just paired very, very well. Like this was a phenomenal blend. Honestly, if I saw this back again, I would buy it multiple bags. It is so good. And then this was also I feel like this was probably getting on 2 years maybe. And this was an excellent performer. So really loved this. Would absolutely repurchase this one. Toasted Pumpkin Seeds and Candy Corn from Rose Girls. Let's talk about another love. Oh, you guys, this was phenomenal. This is Haunted Hill from The Pharmacist's Daughter. This is cashmere sugar, Palo Santo, mountain pine, and warm vanilla sugar. I said, wowzers, really unique, beautiful, strong, and a definite repurchase. This scent to me kind of puts you in the scenery of being like in a resort side, like mountainside resort type cabin kind of vibe. Like it smells like clean, like cashmere blankets, like freshly washed sheets, not laundry, but like soft, like that sweet, soft, like cashmere kind of laundry scent. And then you pair it with like the pine and then that like warm vanilla sugar, which is also like a kind of like almost like a perfumey body care scent. And then you have like that kind of masculine leaning Palo Santo. This just like really did it for me. The scent was phenomenal. I absolutely would pick up more of this. I honestly actively will make sure I'm seeking this out because it was that good. This is so good. So that is Haunted Hill from The Pharmacist's Daughter. This one here is from Salt Mountain Melts. This is Evil Queen, and Evil Queen is cider lane, whipped cream, and sugar cookies. I have found that I used to not enjoy cider lane, but I found that I am enjoying it more and more. And this was just like a very delicious, extra sweet bakery cider lane. So that sugar cookie you could definitely pick out, and it was almost like a crunchy sugar cookie. And then you pair it with like that sweet, creamy, like caramel apple cider lane. It almost smelled like if you had a sugar cookie and you had a freshly cut apple on it, and then you poured like hot caramel sauce over it and ate it. It was delicious. This smelled really nice. There is another scent from Salt Mountain Melts that I bought a loaf of this year called Autumn Lane. Also has cider lane, but that one has butterscotch. Also really love that one. Both are really great. Would buy both again. Really enjoyed them. Okay, so I have two here from Teddy Bees. The first one is Pumpkin Season. And Pumpkin Season is rich cake infused with pumpkin spice, creamy vanilla coffee, oat milk creamer, brown sugar, and Palo Santo. This one is so funny. On cold, we had a friend over and I was like, help me decide what to melt tonight. And he smelled this and he goes, it smells like buttered popcorn. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, yes, it does kind of smell like buttered popcorn. Luckily that went away once you warmed it. It didn't smell like buttered popcorn, but in the bag it sure did. Like almost like a brown sugar pumpkin buttered popcorn kind of a vibe. Like one of those like artisan popcorn shops that you see. I enjoyed this one. On cold, it was definitely a little bit lighter in my open concept. This was probably like a 5, maybe 6 out of 10 for strength and performance. So a little bit lighter, but this was a very pretty scent. It was very interesting because it was like bakery and sweet, but then you add in that Palo, which made it almost like more wearable sweet. I enjoyed this one. This kind of was like in the same realm to me as like, it's not the same by any means, but kind of like similar to like, based on cold, what I've smelled from bakery and Liss or whatever it's called, where it's like, it's a scent where there's bakery notes, but then there are a couple things that make it almost like wearable body care. Kind of the same vibe for this. Very pretty. I really liked it. I don't know if I would necessarily pick it up again, but I was really happy to warm it and I did enjoy it. That was Pumpkin Season. The other one that I warmed from Teddy Bees is Messy Buns and Ugg Boots. And this is Vanilla Chai Tea and Vanilla Bee Noel. Once again, and I feel like this is very common with my Teddy Bees, but once again, this was a scent that I feel like I could easily wear on my body. It didn't smell to me like... It definitely had like chai tea spices, but I feel like that Vanilla Bee Noel came across very much like a wearable like perfume Vanilla Bee Noel, like almost like the body mist that they have, with a little bit more like an added chai tea spice. Definitely not like a drinkable chai tea with like a creamy vanilla kind of a scent. This was much more of like if you had like a chai tea and vanilla scented body care. That's the vibe that I got from this. Once again, very beautiful. That I think that is the nature of Teddy Bees. Her scents tend to lean a little bit more like sophisticated body care kind of a vibe. So this was very pretty and I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would necessarily pick this one up. I will say this, however, was a little bit stronger of a performer in my open concept than the Pumpkin Season was, which I'm surprised about because typically pumpkin scents are stronger than like a vanilla main base vanilla scent. 3 big bags here, all from Empire Alchemy. I have let's talk about this one first. This is Bewitched. This is Goyak wood, cinnamon, patchouli, vetiver, charred wood, smoked berries, and patchouli. I said this one did best in very small spaces. It was light, but it was a very pretty unique blend. And I will say that across the board. I have found that my Empire Alchemy wax performs the best when I put it in my bedroom in my like Yankee Candle centerpiece warmers. And if they're like in my office in like a smaller space, they do best with like lower wattage warmers. So that is where I tend to put all of them. This one was the lightest of the 3 that I have, and definitely the lightest of the 4, especially out of that one that was the Autumn Cat. That was the strongest of all of these, but this one's probably the lightest for me. I liked it. I really enjoyed it, but it was just a little too light for me to probably repurchase that one. But all of the Empire Alchemy blends are also like unique with the scent, like the notes and the fragrances. They're all very like, yeah, they're just unique and interesting. So I am drawn to them for sure. This one here is Good Morning Pumpkin. This is pumpkin caramel latte, California coffee, toffee, and vanilla crumb donuts. This was a little bit stronger than the last one. This was a very pretty, kind of reminded me of like a pumpkin spice latte coffee with like a added bakery. That's kind of the vibe that I got from this. There was a slight, kind of similar to like the Teddy Bees, where I feel like the toffee almost made it. Like I was like, this is like almost so sweet that I feel like it would be like a wearable body care. Like it had a little bit different of like a vibe than just like an edible kind of a scent. Like I almost feel like it was like there was some other kind of like sophistication behind it. So I really liked it. It was delicious. That was Good Morning Pumpkin. And then finally from Empire Alchemy, I have Headless Horseman. And this is charred pumpkin flesh, burnt marshmallows, dry sweeping leaves, amber, and santal. And this was the strongest of these 3, definitely. The amber and santal, that was like really pretty. And to me, amber is like something that you see in a lot of like perfume body care scents. There was like a warmth to this blend. It was like very like warm and definitely kind of like a perfume leaning vibe. I like this one. This is probably the one that I would repurchase out of all of them. I liked it. It was very unique, very different. If you guys are in the market for something that's like super unique for like an interesting like Halloween type vibe, Headless Horseman, that was good. I like that one. And then finally, I have a ton from Southbound to talk about. This was like my Southbound. I should have just called this like Southbound month because man, I went through a lot. So the first one I want to talk about from Southbound is Ghoul Gang. This is raspberry, strawberry, blackberry, citrus, smooth whipped cream, sweet musk, and sugar crystals. And this is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's like a fruity, slightly like musky, which made the fruit kind of lean more like body care once again. Kind of like, yeah, just like a sweet, fruity, almost like a youthful like perfume or like fragrance mist or something along those lines. Really, really pretty. I liked it. Would I get it again? Possibly. Possibly I would get it again. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't something where I feel like, was it like a huge standout? But it was enjoyable. No complaints there. That was Ghoul Gang. This scent here is Haunted Hayride. This is balsam, vetiver, cedarwood, fresh pine, crisp leaves, and berries. This is a scent that definitely like kind of transports you somewhere. I think, I could be wrong, but I believe that this is a single fragrance oil because I want to say I've smelled this out there in different vendor wax melts. It smells familiar to me. This definitely kind of puts you in the mindset of like being in a field, maybe in a field where the grass is high and like things are starting like to die around you. Like it almost smells kind of like leafy, like dried things dying. But then you are in like a field, but there's like woods around you, so it kind of smells like trees and leaves and branches and woody. So this is a really pretty scent. I enjoyed this. I would possibly also pick this one up again. Once again, kind of similar to the last one where I enjoyed them. I'm very, very happy I melted them. No issues. And if I saw it and it was like in a list of other things that I was going to place an order and I was like, oh, it might be fun to like throw those in the cart to have them again. But yeah, it was interesting. I liked it. I have 3 pumpkin scents that I melted from Southbound, which I'll kind of compare and contrast, I guess, for you guys. So I have Pumpkin Cream Puffs, Pumpkin Patch, and Spooky Season. And two of these were pretty similar as far as scent notes go. So Pumpkin Patch was pumpkin crunch cake, apple, buttercream, cinnamon, and baked oatmeal cookies. And Spooky Season was pumpkin pie, vanilla ice cream, and spiced oatmeal cookies. So these definitely both had that like creamy oatmeal kind of scent to it, which is nice. Pumpkin Patch did come across much brighter and much more like fruit forward, like more, the apple in here was definitely very strong. It wasn't overwhelmingly spice heavy. It was definitely more dominant on like the apple pumpkin kind of a scent, kind of like apple pumpkin from like Yankee Candle, Bath and Body Works, like that kind of a vibe. But then you did get a bit of a bakery scent, which must have been the oatmeal cookies, right? Or I guess the crunch cakes. But to me, this was more fruit, apple, pumpkin forward with a bakery background. And then Spooky Season was more bakery forward with a little the pumpkin in the background. I said this was definitely a spicy oatmeal scent. Nice but not a repurchase. So the oatmeal cookie was definitely like the dominating note in here. I don't really, would I repurchase either of these? I'm not really sure. I found, this is so funny, I found this month specifically, I think I prefer apple more than I do pumpkin. And I found a couple really, really amazing apple scents from Southbound, which I'll mention in a second. And before I move on to the apple scents that I loved, this is Southbound's Pumpkin Cream Puffs. I wrote a whole book on the back of this. In short, this was a really, really lovely scent. However, I did go on the Facebook page and I saw that the pumpkin, specifically the pumpkin oil, I believe in here was discontinued. So she's not going to be able to recreate this exact scent again. So I'm not going to let myself get attached to it. And I probably wouldn't have either way, just because, like I said, I found apple scents that I prefer. But this was a really nice, enjoyable, very sweet, creamy, delicious pumpkin. It wasn't like pumpkin guts, but it wasn't overly spicy. It was just like a rich vanilla pumpkin scent. So I did enjoy this, but the pumpkin oil was discontinued. So you can't even repurchase it anymore. Oh, the scent notes for this Pumpkin Cream Puffs are sweet pumpkin, buttery pastry dough, creamy vanilla custard, sweet cream, and confectionery sugar with a hint of spice. So yeah, that sweet pumpkin oil must be discontinued because I know she does her like cream puffs in different things. So it's like, I think she's got like, I know she's got lavender cream puffs and different cream puffs. I don't know if she does an apple cream puffs, but sign me up for that. If she had the apple cream puffs, maybe she does. I would do that for sure. So speaking of apple, let's finish it up with these two. I have Fall Brew, which is cider donuts, vanilla bean noel, frosted graham crackers, ice cream scoop bread, and cream cheese frosting. I said this was an extra sweet apple cider donut. If you guys are familiar with the apple cider donut oil that's out in the fragrance world, this was that, but you just added some extra sweetness to it. It was a 7 out of 10 throw for performance, but if I was picking an apple that I would repurchase, it would be this one. Apple of my eye. I said love, repurchase. The donut paired with the cookie made it like this extra sweet and creamy in a very different way than Fall Brew. This one didn't smell like that distinct apple cider donut oil. It was something totally unique and on its own. Even if it was that same oil, it didn't come across like it was that oil being like mixed with other things. It just came across like very unique. This was so creamy and so delicious. Oh, you guys, I loved this. This was an absolute favorite standout for me. This is apple cider donuts, freshly baked sugar cookies, and sweet vanilla. That's the 3 notes. Very simple, but man, was this good. So I'm going to pause this and go collect all of my favorites so I can give you guys like a top whatever it is for this month. So be right back. Okay, I went and found some definite repurchases. I feel like these two kind of go without saying. I have Haunted Bake Shop and Hungry Ghost from Salt Mountain Melts. I bought these in loaves, so obviously I enjoyed them, but I didn't realize how much I enjoyed them until I just recently melted them again. So knockout scents. This one from Zape in Witch Please, this like coffee praline coconut scent, so good. This little sample mulled wine from K Scented Melts, that was like fruity and delicious, and like I liked that. I would definitely pick that up in a larger size. These two here from Brita's Creepy Treasures, the Please Don't Kill Me Mr. Ghostface. This was such a nice transitional like fall to winter scent. I would pick that up for next year. And then this autumn coffee. It's just such a sweet, delicious bakery coffee. It also similar to that Witch Please, where it's just like delicious coffee and bakery. Loved that. And they both have pralines in them. I must like coffee and praline together. And then I have Rose Girls Toasted Pumpkin Seeds and Candy Corn. I also didn't grab the one that I just finished the bag of, that Fireside Pumpkin from Zape. That one also 100% yes. The Haunted Hill from the Pharmacist's Daughter. Beautiful, unique scent. So good. Apple of my eye. Just talked about this one. So, so good. And then Dessa's Homespun Scents Cinderella's Pumpkin Carriage. That Bavarian cream note. So good. So good. Delicious. So those are my standout favorites from this month. I hope you've all had an amazing month of melting. Let me know what your favorite thing you melted this month was in a comment, please. I'm very interested. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk to you all in my next one. Bye, guys.